Good morning. So this morning, we'll practice Modo Yin. The Modo series at the beginning, and the last, I'm going to say about 20 minutes, will be really slow, breath-led, unwinding, and the same practice applied differently. So I love the comparison and how we weave the same practice through a different physical practice. So the connection is where we place our attention. So I invite you to take up some space on your mat, maybe on the floor, starting in resting position. Allow yourself to take up physical space. And for me, that represents so much. So when I allow my environment, my physical body to connect, it encourages my mind to also connect. So it's this feedback loop, literally, called life, that we practice. And arrange your body on the floor in a way that just feels good, comfortable, organic movements. You can stay still, you can stretch. Just begin to bring awareness to your breathing, points of connection, your body on the ground. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Sigh. Connect your sigh with the feeling of your body on the floor, letting go of tension of the mind that sticks in the body, and notice where you hold that tension. So for me, it's all around my head, jaw, the face, those expression muscles, how we shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. You're going to start to rock your head side to side, noticing the weight of the head. And on the ground, you might shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Take a couple more long breaths. And then find a rhythm of breathing that will guide your practice. So during this type of practice, find a rhythm of breathing. I'll guide the breath, but you can follow your own pace of breath. That feels pretty even. So take a couple more breaths before we begin to move, where your inhale feels good and your exhale feels good. And it becomes like a rhythm in a slow melody. And identify what a calm rhythm of breathing feels like to you. And then try to keep that rhythm and weave it throughout the whole class. And then near the end of class, we might exaggerate our exhales just a little bit more. Every breath is a message. And what is the message you're giving today? Let's start to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Practicing now the Modo series. Circle the hands and the feet. Any organic movements on your back, feel free to pull your knees in towards the chest. You can rock the body side to side. Couple of easy breaths, and just now begin to identify the breath in the body. So maybe you feel your breath in your ribs, in your back. Where do you hold your thoughts? Where do you hold the past in your body? And just begin to bring your breath into that space. What the breath represents is a translation. It's a translation of life. We can translate life between these 2 years, which for me, it's not a very good translation. Or we can go deeper and let the breath begin to connect and translate. So while we're on our back, I will join you. Don't hesitate to pop up a comment if the sound is not quite right. And if by chance the internet drops, which can happen, hang on and I'll rejoin. So don't totally disappear unless you're ready to. So once you're on your back, You are on your back maybe already. Let's set our feet on the floor. Sway the knees side to side. We'll get into a little bit of abdominal containment. So notice how your pelvis and your spine feel as you lay on the floor with your feet on the floor. Let's call this neutral. So we'll keep this shape the same, even though we're going to engage our belly muscles. So try to keep this shape the same, but tighten right around your belly button. Now keep that, lift your knees, bend them, shins parallel to the ceiling. So maybe this is enough, or you can push your hands and thighs together, creating a little bit more containment. So we'll do a little bit of the floor part of Moto right now. Inhale, let's work with the breath. Exhale, push. Notice how your exhale works with your core muscles. Inhale, fill up, and then exhale to push. Inhale, and then exhale to press. 3 more big breaths, just priming our core, the center that holds the balance of our whole body. It's like a tube all the way around. 1 more breath. And release your feet to the floor, sway the knees, and take a slow breath in. And a long breath out. So you can do nothing. Maybe it's soothing just to sway the knees. Or we'll come into dead bug. Lift the knees, bend them, shins parallel. Lift your arms up. Let's straighten the right leg over the floor. Try to keep a tiny bit of space, lumbar spine against the floor. So I've got my right leg. It probably looks like left to you. And left arm. So opposite arm and leg, hover and reach. And then pull back to the ceiling. Let's link our breath. So use your inhale to hover and reach. And exhale to pull back up, keeping the tone in the belly. Inhale, keeping the spine the same shape. Exhale, lift. So as you're breathing and moving, it's not so much about a perfect movement combination. It's more about noticing the weight of the arm and the leg, but keeping the belly muscles tight, securing the shape of the spine. And this is what we can take with us when we're walking around, when we're stressed out, keeping that neutrality in the spine and pelvis. Think about drawing your navel towards the spine. 1 more on each side. You can come out anytime. Opposite arm and leg, reach. Good. Feet to the floor. You can sway the knees. Take a breath in and a breath out. Set your feet hip distance apart. Now, tuck the tailbone up towards the ceiling and actually tighten as though you have suspenders on. Press through your feet. Lift your hips. Exaggerate your exhales. And press up. If your knees bother you, you can always change the position of your feet wider, or maybe your toes come out on an angle. So try to drop the ribs a little bit, taking the pressure off the neck, and push the tailbone up, tilting the pelvis. Low back is long, lifting, and breathing. Exhale, press. 3 more breaths. Strong exhales, great way to connect. Contain and ground. So you can prepare with an inhale and lower your back to the floor. Exhale, take your time. Turn over, come on over into a table position now. So stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Begin to lift your chest. As you inhale, drop the belly. Exhale. To round your upper back especially, long exhale. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. 1 more like that. We're really just reteaching this combination of breath. We tend to hold our breath when our thoughts take over. Let's keep the breath pattern. Come to a flat back, tuck the toes, upside down V. downward dog. So hands are shoulder distance apart, tailbone up, chest down. No straining anywhere. Soft bend in the knees, tighten the belly. Still keeping that neutral shape. Big breath in. And out. You can walk your feet to your hands. Set your feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees. Lift your chest as you bend the knees and reach your tailbone back. Tighten the belly. And then bow the head heavy. Reach your heart forward. Still bending the knees. Tighten the belly. And bow the head. Bend the knees more and then stand up. Reach all the way up. And lower your arms down. Full breath in. You're welcome to lift the shoulders. Long breath out. Drop the shoulders. Stand on your left foot. And then bend your right knee. Turn your knee to the side. And just rest your heel on your ankle. You're welcome to slide your foot higher. And then hands gather at heart center. So practicing a little bit of balance here. The practice isn't to stay perfectly balanced, it's to explore the feeling. So bring attention to your breathing, finding that sort of metronome of rhythm of breathing in and out. And then connect your breathing to your body. So rooting, I feel my foot wiggling, I'm wobbling. Maybe press your palms together. And maybe you can use this feeling to explore growing taller. And allow yourself to wobble. Balance changes for me all the time. So my experience of balance. Let's take one more full breath. Root to rise, just like the trees outside. Thriving even in the snow, right? Slowly, knees forward. Foot and arms down. Switch the weight to the right foot, left knee bends. Knee to the side, your heel can come to your ankle, or you place your foot against your leg. Hands gather at the heart. Press a little bit, drop the shoulder blades down. Lengthening through the neck. Steady in breath. It's about increasing our quality of connection. Letting go of an idea of something better. And practicing connecting and scanning the right now. The whole scene right now, here and now, healthiest place to be. Noticing your breath. So breath is our internal anchor. It's our messenger. And prepare with an inhale. Slowly bring that knee forward, foot and arms down. Exhale. So set your feet a comfortable distance apart. Reach up and clasp your fingers now. Release your pointer fingers. Relax around the neck. First, make your low back feel long by tucking your tail slightly like an arrow straight down and side bend, slide towards the right. Combine tightening the belly, just like when we pushed hands and thighs together just a little bit to support, lengthen the spine, and just simply side bend. I like to imagine that I'm sliding along a wall, just like my wall behind me here. And without force, just normally my head would come forward, my elbows come forward. So just encouraging back of my head and my elbows to open towards the back here. Really gently, nothing's forced. We're inviting the body to reshape itself around the breath. It tends to shape itself around the mind. Slowly rise up. And then begin to side bend the other way. Another option is to let go of the bottom arm. And the feeling could be you can separate your feet or bring them closer. The feeling could be sort of opening your chest, bending the elbow, and sliding your hips the other way. Where do you feel your breath right now in the body? Let's take one more breath. And let's slowly rise up, reach up, Reach forward, palms down, separate your feet, and now sit back and down as though you're sitting in a chair that's way too far back. So as you're bending the knees, take a glance down. Make sure pretty much you can see your toes. That's just a general assessment. Tug the feet apart. Kind of like your feet are trying to tear your yoga mat from the middle apart. And then bend your knees more. This is totally up to you. So you can come up a little bit and then sit deeper. So what I notice when I start to feel a sensation, my body starts to shake itself around the reaction to that sensation. So tightening of the face, shortening of the breath, hunching. So let's find that neutral spine and bring our attention to the breath and then steer our reaction to the sensation. So you're in control. You can come up a little bit, sit back and down, tightening those belly suspenders. Take 2 more strong breaths. Feel free to challenge yourself. Make sure your joints don't hurt. So after this, you're welcome to stand right up or keep the knees bent. Awkward pose, push the heels up. So keep bending the knees, let your body reorganize itself. Even if that means wobbling out, that's okay. Just be safe. Bending the knees more, tightening the belly, increasing the breath. Let's take 2 more strong breaths. Open heart, shoulders settle. 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, stand up, reach out, heels and arms down. So we're going to come right into our eagle wings. Opening the wings. Right arm under. Twist, tie palms together or palms to shoulders. Feet together, sit low. Stand on your left foot, sit low. And then just start to hover the right toes. Bend the left knee more, lift the right leg more. When you're ready, wrap right around left. You can take a bind. Really great basis here. So check in with how your back feels. If you feel like you're really hunching, open around the heart, drop the shoulders into their place, squeeze the thighs, tighten the belly, and you can sit lower. You can always sit low enough that the crossed leg, I've got my right toes crossed over, tap the floor. 1 more big breath in. And out. Inhale, slowly slide up. Exhale, put your foot down and release your fingers down. Inhale, lift your arms. Then exhale, left arm under. Inhale. Sit back and down, exhale. Inhale, begin to hover, left leg. This is left leg for me, exhale, tie. Big breath in. Roll the shoulders down, open your heart. Breath out. Just squeeze and sit. Inhale. And exhale. Notice your breath. Link it to whatever you're paying attention to. Pulling attention away from thought. 1 more full breath in. And out. Good. Slide up. Foot down. Fingers down. Circle up. Lift your heart. And hands come together at the chest. Breathing in. Bend the knees deeply. Breathe out. Inhale, straighten your back. And then exhale, twist to the left. So you can hook your elbow. Or you can take, like I am, opposite hand to thigh. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest. Exhale to gently twist. Inhale. Long exhale. 1 more breath in. And out. Inhale, center, stand up, lift the arms and heart. Exhale, bend the knees and sit deeply. Inhale, neutral spine. Then exhale, gently twist. Increase the quality of your breath. Tightening the belly as you twist. Exhale, no strain, never any pain. Inhale. And exhale, 1 more full breath in. Keep the spine neutral. And out. Center, stand up. Reach up, lift the heart and arms. Circle your arms down. And now place your hands right on your bottom. Maybe frame the tailbone or higher where your low back is. Separate the heels. Tighten the belly. Think of this as a belly stretch first. Lift the chest. Flex the legs. And then begin to draw the shoulder blades back. Try to keep the hips over the heels. And then begin to trace your gaze higher and further back. And you're more than welcome with a supported neck to begin to back bend a little bit. Stay connected to your breath. Flex the front of the legs. Take one more breath here. Gradually come on up. Set the shoulders over the hips, over the heels. Take a breath in. And a long breath out. Come to the top of your mat. Sweep the arms high. Then reach forward, bend the knees, bow over the legs. Take a breath. Your next exhale, step your right foot back. This is a long step. Breathe in, and when you exhale, lift into your runner's lunge. So we're aligning the spine with the back leg. Back the head, shoulders, tailbone, and heel. You can lunge deeper. You can come out of the lunge. So allow this position to create space in the low back, and you can start to increase the stretch by activating that back leg. Keep your breath strong. If this makes sense to you, I like to imagine my tailbone and my lifted heel trying to reach each other. For me, it feels like I'm tucking my tail down a little bit. Take one more full breath in. And out. Slowly start to lift your torso. We're increasing the stretch here in the front of this is my right foot back. If that's too much, bend the back knee a little bit and focus on lifting the front bones of your pelvis. Lift your arms, option to bend the elbows. If you straighten the arms, biceps by the ears, lunge deeper, you begin to increase the stretch more. Breathing deeply by lifting your chest, looking up, and then begin to reach the thumbs back a little bit. Take one more breath in and out. Reach for the ceiling. Let's take this to warrior two. So back foot turns sideways and flat. Bend the front knee over the ankle. Let's turn our palms up, add some movement, straighten the front leg, lift the arms, and then slowly begin to sink. Inhale, lift. And exhale, slide. Inhale. Exhale, one more inhale. So holding your warrior two, not your breath. Shoulders are heavy. Lunge is up to you. Palms to the side. Focusing less on the arms here. Let's focus on our torso. Lengthen through the ribs and then slant your body in line with the back leg. You can bring your left hand, bottom hand to the knee. Right arm on an angle, reach up. Or you can reach in line with the back leg. Feel free to lunge deeper, but brace, tightening the belly like you're picking up something heavy. Brace and breathe. Take one more breath. Really good. Windmill back up to your warrior two. Inhale. Lunge, exhale. Let's bring our hands to our hips first. Lift the back heel. Back into runner's lunge. Hands down, rock back, step forward, breathe in. When you're ready, left foot back, maybe on a breath out. Runner's lunge. Take a breath in, and then slant the torso in line with the back leg. Breath out. Really great practice to begin to increase our connection to balance, to lengthen the spine. Decide your lunge, And then begin to, if it feels okay to you, tuck your tailbone towards that lifting heel. Straighten your arms. Decide where you're looking with your eyes. So if you look up, that changes things. You can look just in front of your mat. Let's take one more big breath in. And out. Begin to lift the torso. Notice how that changes the feeling of the stretch. You can bend the back knee a little bit. So low back is long. We're still trying to keep a neutral shape in the spine, especially pelvis. Reach forward and up. You can bend the elbows. The feeling here for me is focusing on lifting the front of my pelvis, slightly tucking the tail. And then begin to, if you'd like to, lunge deeper, lift the heart, and begin to lead with your heart and thumbs. Keep the breath strong. No strain here. Taking one more breath. Then reach for the ceiling. Back foot turn sideways and flat. Warrior 2 on your other side. Inhale, lift up. Reach up. Exhale to land. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Palms to the side. Let's focus on the torso. Lifting out of the ribs. Slant the body in line with back leg. Bottom hand can press slightly on that lunge thigh. Left arm on an angle. Up or over. You can lunge deeper if you like. Brace to lift. So that helps encourage tightening the belly. Let's strengthen our exhales for one more full breath in. Brace and tighten, breath out. Lift up, inhale. Land in your lunge, exhale. Let's do 2 more on this side. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale, good. Straighten out on this side. All 10 toes face the same way. Heel toe to the center of your mat. Then prepare to stand on your left foot. So standing on your left foot, I'll turn this way. Reach the right leg back. And it's a lot like runner's lunge. So we had runner's lunge where we slanted the body. Now we're straightening. And in fact, you can come to runner's lunge and do a little bit of a hot, great version of balance practice. Straighten the body. And then press through the heel just to think about drawing the tailbone to reach for that heel. Push the heel high. And then focus here on keeping a neutral pelvis and spine, actually. So the practice here is keeping that shape we started with, regardless of what we're doing, per se, with the body. So sometimes I'll press my palms together. So allow yourself to wiggle and wobble. There isn't a do it exactly this way, ever. Push through the heel, tighten your suspenders. Find length, reaching from the crown of the head forward. Push through the heel, teeter totter. I'll count for 5, 4, 3, 2, and rise up. You can bend one knee alternately. Take a breath. Stand on your right foot, left foot reaches back. So in this position, begin to slant the body and just pay attention to how your spine feels. Replicate that alignment. Mountain pose, actually. Push that heel. Then play teeter-totter wherever you want to take it. Sometimes I'll teeter-totter up and then forward. You're more than welcome to play with the feeling of lifting the hip and then dropping the hips towards the floor. Just play with it. Like I mentioned again, the goal isn't a perfect aim for a quote pose. There's no such thing. Everything is fluid. Everything is flowing. Everything is connecting. Where are you right now in that dance of life? For 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1. Foot down, arms down. Good. Turn your right palm forward so your thumb is to the side. And then you can rotate the arm back. Stand on your left foot. Bend the right knee. Scoop the foot up, knees together. If that hurts your shoulder or elbow, you can grab the outside of the foot. Straighten your back and draw your tailbone down at first. So when I do this, I notice it pulls my knee forward because my hip flexors are pretty tight. So is the front muscle in my thigh, quadriceps, one of them. Kick back, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, proud heart, exhale to kick. So now you don't have to kick. You can focus on tucking the tail, lengthening, and bringing your heel towards your bum. Or you can kick back to pull the arm back. Just play with it. And again, I'll count. Make sure you're breathing deeply for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Foot down, arms down. So on this side, let's reach both arms up. And then my left palm like I have a tray. Thumb has turned back. Skip the inside of the left foot and straighten the body at first. Notice where you feel the stretch. And then once you've got your foot in your hand, decide if you're kicking back or maybe you focus on tightening your suspenders. It's all in the position of the pelvis. Inhale. And then you can kick more if you like. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and soft release. Good. Foot and arms down. Come near the top of your mat. Sweep your arms high as you breathe in. Breathe out, bend the knees, and now bow right over your legs. Heavy head, and just bend the knees a little bit or a lot. Inhale, keep the knees bent, just lift your chest. And now exhale, plank position, lower your knees down to the ground. Inhale, shoulders over wrist, open your chest. Exhale, bend the elbows and come all the way to your belly. Inhale, lift the chest, anchor your feet. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades back. You can lower a little bit. Inhale, press your feet down, hover the chest. And exhale, squeeze the elbows towards the hips. You can hover your hands if you like. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale, release your arms by your sides. Take a breath in, straighten the arms. Breath out, lift your legs. Inhale, reach the top of the head forward. Reach through your fingers and toes. Exhale, and squeeze the big toe mounds together. Inhale. Exhale, straighten arms and legs. One more inhale. And exhale. Palms to the ground. Lower your knees and feet. Push to the knees, tuck the toes, and make your way into a downward dog. Child's pose available anytime. Come to high plank pose now. Lower your knees. Untuck the toes. You're going to stay right here in straight arms. We're going to do a baby push-up. Bend the elbows, pull your chest towards the top of the mat. Just a little bend and then push up. That's chaturanga. Breathe in, bend the elbows. Push up, breathe in. Bend the elbows long, exhale. So your neck does not change, push up. And now, let's bend the elbows, exhale. This time, push up. Open your chest and roll the shoulders back if you like. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. High plank pose, lower the knees. Open the chest, neck does not change. Bend the elbows, could be a centimeter. And then push up. Option to roll the shoulders back. Drop the belly a little bit, support though, and roll back over the toes, downward dog. Slowly come forward to plank pose. Lower the knees. Baby bend in the elbows, or you can go to your belly. Cobra or upward dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank pose. You can lower the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows slowly. Inhale to open the heart. You can roll the shoulders back a little bit. And then exhale, downward facing dog. High plank pose again. Let's lower the knees. Everyone, and then go to the belly. Lift the chest, reach the arms back, lift the legs. Option to bend the knees now and take a hold of the feet. If this bothers your knees, let go and stay straight. 2 breaths here. Exhale to lift the chest and kick back. When you're ready, let go. Bring your palms to the earth. Lower your knees and feet. Push to the knees. And now come back to a child's pose. Find a place for your head to rest. Focus on your exhalations, long and slow. So we're going to move towards the yin portion. Feel free to have a couple of pillows, offering a reclining hero, and a couple of pillows, maybe even a really soft blanket, was a great way for me to approach reclining hero when I was pretty nervous in that pose. First, camel. Come on up. Tuck under the toes. Stand on the knees. Tighten the suspenders. Low back is long. Bring your hands to frame your tailbone, or you're welcome to just reach back. Begin to lift your heart, lift your gaze. Try to keep the neck lengthening because your shoulder blade muscles are helping out. Drawing the shoulder blades together and down the spine. So you can stay like this, lifting the heart. Or you're going to begin to reach back for your heels. Try to keep the hips pushing forward, opening around the chest, and breathing slowly. It's hard to talk and breathe in this pose. Take one more breath. And slowly rise up. Find neutral in the shoulders. Slow breath in and out. So this is a time you may want a block or a couple of pillows for reclining hero. So you can place those pillows right where your back would go. Let's separate our knees wide apart. Adjust many pillows. Another option is put a soft blanket, roll up the end of the blanket underneath your ankles. That feels good too. Lean back onto your hands. Lift your tailbone and tighten the belly at first. Take a breath. And then maybe you have so many pillows you hardly lean back. Such a great way to just explore. So whenever you're ready, begin to lay back. Maybe you're all the way on the ground or on your pillows, or maybe you have a block here. And so use this time to readjust. And the measurement is breath. And begin to explore that easy flow of breath. That feeling of maybe sighing. And if you can't find that rhythm of breath, you've probably gone too far. Close your eyes. So our yoga practice is one of breath connection, and it does, for many of us, boil down to trust. So much of our thinking is driven by just that unsettled, and these are unsettling times for sure. And so when we breathe in a way that we're not trusting, our body tightens up. So our practice doesn't mean we let go of what's going on totally, because the world is doing its thing for sure. It's our relationship with ourselves that we're working on. And so we begin to remind the body of breath, space, recovery, and presence. We just take care, even if it's one breath at a time, of this moment, and help readjust our emphasis in this one breath at a time. And if our emphasis is the mind, it tends to tighten, it tends to send signals of anxiety for many of us. So we take our breath now, and we begin to switch the emphasis. Even if the emphasis is exhale, it could be an I breathe in, and I breathe out. That could be the entire emphasis. It's perfect. Scan the body for tightness around the jaw, forehead, around the scalp. Connect your exhales to whatever you're feeling. You're welcome to come out anytime and just lay and rest. Rest and recovery. And if this is your practice, it could be as simple as taking 5 minutes where you practice, no, I wish, I should, I didn't. 5 minutes of just breathing, letting go of expectation, comparisons, pressure, just be. About 5 more breaths here. Just inviting space, some room on the inside. And when you're ready, really slowly start to rise on up. Any movement you're craving, help yourself. Just slide your pillows off to the side. Feel free to head into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. And then lift your right leg high. Bend the right knee, the lifted knee, and bring it forward to the right wrist. Pigeon pose. Thread the needle is always an option instead of this pose. Lengthen your spine. Feel free to move that front shin a little bit more parallel to the front of your mat. Come on down to the elbows. That's up to you. Or stay propped up. Try to keep your spine the same as when your arms were straight. You can always readjust. So the yin practice is about time. It's about our relationship with time. And just giving the body the space and the time to be somewhere for longer than usual. So for me, it's a practice of patience. And it also reveals this momentum that we are almost propelled by a pace of behaving. And so what's revealed when we stop is that speed at which we're used to living life. And that's our practice, is to explore what it is that we might maybe be in autopilot in life, and beginning to notice the difference and notice what comes up when we stop. And for me, that's probably the most challenging part, because I will lose myself in momentum, and I do lose myself. And staying with the body here, softening jaw and the shoulders. Connecting to your exhales. Long and slow. Keep the heart wide. You can let the head drop if that feels okay. Whatever comes up, maybe a restless feeling, take a longer breath. Just a couple more breaths here. Now when you're ready to come on out, just lift up to your hands. Tuck the back toes, and then swoop that front leg back and maybe up. I like to roll out the ankle, bend the knee. Feel free to lift, circle the knee, place that foot down. And when you're ready, bring the left knee forward and find length in the spine. So that front foot, you can move it closer to the top corner of your mat or closer to you. Back leg is straight, spine is long. I breathe in. I breathe out. Make it really simple. And this internal practice can feel really intense at times. But freedom is literally in watching how a feeling comes and goes. So feelings can be really loud, really intense. As we take our breath, and become observers, we can literally begin to watch, just like a cloud in the sky, as our feelings float away. And it's in that relationship with impermanence that, whether I like it or not, where we begin to connect with what is true, natural. And that begins to detangle us as we become observers. Most of the times I feel most trapped is in my reaction to what goes on, my likes and my dislikes. Just breathing in and breathing out. Around 5 more breaths. As you're feeling ready, eventually make your way all the way to your back. Moving into reclining twist, and you're welcome to have pillows handy. Begin to, on your back, move your hips to the left, lift your knees, and then drop your knees on pillows or a block to the right. Try to keep your knees in line with the hips. Open out your arms. Look away. Close your eyes and find your breath.
As long as the sun still shines and I live to see another morning. You left me with nothing.
Breathing slowly.
An open parasol. So I watered the garden and dried out my lungs as a way to keep you cool.
Pay attention to your breath in your ribcage.
But I was scared to clear when that big door was shut. Bit by bit, and all I was one near miss. Yeah, I'm lucky as they come. By now I know the sound of bells.
You can rock the head side to side a couple times.
Before I met you, I was
Feel free to readjust in a way that feels good.
a tree up in the distance, just like that.
Your elbows can be bent, back to the hands on the ground. Gently rocking the body if you like.
And I still believe there's no order, just chaos, and time does what it
Take a couple more breaths. And then switch
but I can take
to your other side.
one pack at a time. Get a little closer.
slowly lift the knees. Find your twist on your other side. Rearrange the body spaciously, just using the floor as your alignment. Keep your knees bent. Maybe pillow between the thighs, one under the bottom thigh. You're welcome to straighten the top leg. So twisting one way and rolling the other way on your back.
By now, the sun was good as anyone.
More breaths. Emphasize your exhales. And we'll finish class in butterfly pose. So whenever you're ready, of course you can stay as you are. Come to lay on your back. Set your feet flat on the floor and then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open out like a book, coming into your butterfly pose. Hands on the belly if you like, or maybe one hand on your chest, one on your belly. And close your eyes. Simply breathe in. And sigh if you like. This is where we can emphasize exhales.
Guess I'd rather be alone, just thinking about you.
Softening jaw, the face, shoulder. Allowing the body to translate difference between the energy of the mind and the energy of the breath. Linked to the breath. Finishing your practice in a way where the rhythm of breath feels good and slow, and your breath is louder than your thoughts. Take that with you into your day. Namaste.
When I